Peace. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to speak on Drake and R. Kelly as the demonization of the black male sexual nonconformist. The demonization of the black male sexual nonconformist. That's what's going on now. It's an uprising on that. Specifically, the black male sexual nonconformist. Because that's all you really can do with the black male sexual nonconformist is demonize them. A lot of the other ones are easily prosecuted and easily criminalized. Now, what do I say when I say the black male sexual nonconformist? You have Drake at one of his recent concerts. They say that he's hugging, kissing, and in their words, groping a 17-year-old girl. Now, this is not an illegal act, clearly. The problem with Drake is that he would not conform to the social standards or public opinion about what he should be doing with this young girl on stage. Now, he admits that he doesn't know if he should be guilty or not, but he still go ahead and refuses to conform sexually. And he has an intimate sexual moment with this young woman on the stage that really ruffled a lot of people's feathers. What they're doing is demonizing heterosexuality, making these men feel bad or guilty for their natural inclinations to be a man, their natural proclivity towards heterosexual behavior is being demonized, and they're supposed to feel guilty about being a man, which is literally helping fuel the homosexual agenda. Because now if being a man and having natural heterosexual inclinations is being demonized, then that should push more men towards the LGBTQ agenda. So to me, they work hand in hand. The feminists and the LGBTQ are working together with this. You have to demonize heterosexuality and you have to promote feminism and homosexuality. To be honest, the black male homosexual truly is a feminist, to be honest with you. He has taken a feminist approach to his own sexuality, and he hates his own sexuality, the so-called black male homosexual, as equally as the feminists do. The feminist hates the black man being a man, and the gay black man actually hates being a man. So they work together, unarguably. The issue here is that black people, black men have been forced to conform to white regulations, white rules, white culture, to the white consensus reality for 400 years. Since slavery, we have been forced to conform to their rules, values, and regulations, mentally, physically, spiritually, economically, and sexually. We've been told when to fuck, who to fuck, and how to fuck since slavery. Now you have some black men as such as R. Kelly and Drake here who are no longer conforming or submitting to this type of domination. They're no longer submitting to that. And this is the problem that you have. You cannot say, there's no one has come out to say that R. Kelly has forced himself on any woman. He has not been accused of rape. He's not at all. None of them have come out and say that R. Kelly has forced them to do anything. So what are they mad at him about? Because his choice, his behavior does not conform to what they feel like the black man's sexuality should be. He refused to exist within inside of that box with those particular parameters. And he's not being ethical. That's one. Because it's not about rape. So the second thing, with the Drake thing, the whole event on the stage, I mean, it was not force. No force at all. It seems like it was appreciated and invited by the girl who was on stage. That she invited that and she appreciated that. That was definitely a fan moment for her. So these men are not being attacked for aggression, for violence. They're being attacked because they're not conforming, because they're not being broken heterosexual Negroes who allow their enemy's world and paradigm to define their sexuality. That's what's happening. Proof of the demonization is they're now making someone who by law could be or would be considered a statutory rapist, arguably, depending on what state they're in and the laws of that particular state. But they're taking these people who would be considered statutory rapists at the most, and then they're calling them pedophiles. This is their method of demonizing. Now, I think 17 is of age in some states. I'm not sure what state Drake was in, where that music video was shot at, or where he did that performance or that concert at. But 17 is of age. But you have people as going as far as calling him a pedophile, because it's not even about the law. It's not even about the correct use of terminology, because him hugging a 17-year-old on stage is not a pedophile. So it's not even about the proper use of terminology or definitions. It's purely about the demonization of the black man. That's proof that there's no respecter of law or legality or even proper definition. It has no boundaries. The sexual demonization campaign has no boundaries. What you're seeing now is that these black men are no longer choosing to conform and suppress their natural heterosexual inclinations to be socially validated, to escape the consequences of being a black man in this society. And that's what's happening. See, they mad at R. Kelly, but at the end of the day, it's just public opinion trial. It's a public opinion prosecution, and not based on law or even based on real legitimate concerns. It's purely the desire to keep the black man locked within certain parameters of how he expressed his sexuality, his masculinity within a relationship. It is an attack on black patriarchy. It is an attack on the nature of the black man, because the black man is to be domesticated and sexually repressed and kept within the boundaries that is permitted by his ex-slave master, or by a world that has been socially engineered with the morality, the conservative values, and the construct of the oppressor. That's the world that we live in today, whether it's being maintained or promoted by a black face or a white face. It is a consensus reality of white supremacy's religious or moral sexual construct, mixed in with the hatred of the man by the feminist movement, mixed in making sure that blacks are submissive to the popular white dominant construct, whether it's homosexuality or heterosexuality. They want to make sure that black people stay in the box and that a nigga ain't feeling himself too much, because that's illegal. If a nigga get to feeling himself too much and feeling some freedom or some liberty to speak or act in some particular way that is outside of the social norm or outside of the dictates of his slave master and coons who work to maintain the Negro farm, some individuals, black people, end up stepping outside of that. And I'm calling that non-sexual conformist black men. They not just mad at the rapist no more. They just not mad at the aggressor anymore. They're coming out now mad at black male sexual nonconformity. This is a fact. And that's what you see happening now. That they want to put these Negroes back in check sexually. And these individuals are saying, irregardless, you're not going to tell me how to express, feel, and define my sexuality. Before I end this video, I also want to go into the swirlers a little bit, because I talked about that in the initial video, that some black men are with white women out of sexual nonconformity. You're not going to tell them who to fuck. They're not with these white women because they have loyalty to the white race, or they're traitors against the black race, or they're not about black nationalism, or not about black power, or don't care about their people. They with the white woman because they refuse to be told who the fuck and who not the fuck. That's why they were white women. Once the black man was told he better not fuck a white woman or he gonna get killed. Now the black man is proven that he can fuck whoever he want to. And the black man should be able to fuck whoever the hell he want to, as long as that person is willing and in agreement at that moment of being fucked, complicit with being fucked, then the black man should fuck them and has a right to, and should not be demonized or criminalized or forced to conform to anybody's sexual standards or definitions or codes or reality outside of their own, and that their sexuality should be dictated by the desires of their loins and the conscionable individuals that agree to be sexually involved with them. And hopefully at some particular point that these individuals that are sexually involved with them don't renege and try to rewrite the narrative because they feel as though the black man should sexually conform in some particular manner, when at the time that they were involved with this individual, they was complicit, irregardless of what the sexual fantasy may have been or the circumstance. They may have been complicit with that at the time, but then they want to renege later to save face and the bandwagon, the feminists and the Me Too movement, and make themselves look holier than thou and demonize the black man and make him look like a savage beast. The last point on this video is I want to talk about how the attack on a black male sexual nonconformist, the demonization of the black male sexual conformist, is also an attack on the black woman's fantasy. Because a lot of times the black sexual nonconformist, the black male sexual nonconformist, is the only one who's able to fulfill the black woman's ultimate sexual fantasies. He's the only one to have the courage, the willingness, and the ability to fulfill the black woman's sexual fantasy. So when you demonize and attack the black male sexual nonconformist, you also are attacking the black liberated female's sexual fantasy of being with a very powerful, strong, dominant, in control, black male, patriotic figure. I'm gonna rest my case at this point. This King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnoblepblacksupremacy.com. Donate and definitely don't hate.